You're listening to Clearview Today with Dr. Abadan Shah, the daily show that engages mind and heart for the gospel of Jesus Christ. I'm Ryan Hill.
I'm John Galantis.
You can find us online at clearviewtodayshow.com, or if you have any questions for Dr. Shah or suggestions for new topics, send us a text to 252-582-5028, or you can email us at contact@clearviewtodayshow.com.
That's right, and we want you guys to help us keep the conversation moving forward. You can support the show. You can share it online with your friends and family. Leave us a good 5-star review on iTunes or Spotify, anywhere you get your podcasting content from. We're going to leave a couple of links right there in the description, so you can do that. That would be very demure.
Very mindful,
yeah,
very
I've been very cutesy. I've been catching up on some of my TikTok trends.
Yeah.
I kind of like this one. I'm not going to lie. It's very demure. Yeah, I like that.
You know what else is demure?
What's that?
Giving some advice no one needed.
You know, this is a segment that we have done in the past that it kind of fell by the wayside. I ran out of advice to give. I was in a period where I needed some advice. But I think you have some advice today.
I do have some advice today.
Let's hear
So
it.
I've been recently introduced to the world of grocery delivery by Dr. Shah's wife, Nicole, permaguest Nicole Shah.
Of course. Let me go ahead and give Nicole a little bit of a response.
Permaguest Nicole Shah.
Thanks for the excellent advice, Nicole. Wow, that applause lasted longer than I thought.
I at first I was like, I can just go to the grocery store. I mean, it's just right around the corner. It's right around town. I live like 5 minutes away from the grocery store. No big deal. It is glorious.
Yeah?
It is. You can schedule the delivery window. So, like, for example, today, I know, because I make lunch for my kids every morning and for my wife, I know where we are with the lunch supplies and what we're running low on.
Right.
I know that if we don't get these things, we're going to be hurting for lunches tomorrow. So what I did was, just pop the phone up, because today's a busy day. I'm not going to have time to go to the grocery store.
Right.
Pop the phone up, beep, boop, pop, beep, boop, 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 put it in my cart, hit delivery for between 9 and 11 o'clock p.m. tonight. Done.
Now, there's always going to be naysayers out there in radio land or in podcast land listening, and they're going to want to play devil's advocate.
Sure.
They're going to want to say things like, it's going to cost way more when you do that.
Okay, I hear you.
The delivery fees aren't
I hear you.
worth
The
it."
delivery fee. Scared me a little bit.
Sorry.
The delivery fee is $10. Okay, $10. So I'm paying an extra $10, but I'm paying for convenience, and I'll tell you why that matters.
Okay.
Because we work hard.
Yeah.
We work hard. My wife and I work hard to provide for our family.
Yeah.
We're financially responsible.
Yeah.
So if I want to pay $10 for a delivery fee for the convenience of having groceries dropped off at my house and not have to go to the grocery store at 10:30 at night, I'm gonna do that.
Treat yourself.
I'm gonna pay for peace of mind. I'm gonna pay for convenience. I'm gonna pay for safety.
Very demure.
Very cutesy. Very mindful. Very demure.
I feel like we should just keep saying that until it gets old and people don't like it.
I feel like with us 30-year-olds saying it, there are teenagers listening to each other like, okay.
So Ellie loves grocery delivery. I've never used it once, but then again, I kind of just leave the grocery delivery to her. And I think that's the trade-off for me is like, I don't like the idea of spending $10 on a delivery fee, but I also don't like the idea of being responsible for the shopping.
Right. Right.
So I'm like, you know what? I trust you. It makes your life easier. I can just pretend that $10 is still there. It's not like I'm going to look at the account anyway.
It's $10. It's $10.
Yeah, go for it. She loves it. She loves it. Is it really just $10 flat? So if I get $200 worth of groceries, it's just a $10 delivery fee?
That I don't know, because mine typically lands around the same price total that I'm ordering. So I don't know if it's a percentage or if it's just a flat $10
Groceries
fee.
is high these days.
Yeah, I know.
Are y'all doing where it's like I get groceries every week for just the little things that I need, or it's like we're going to exhaust everything, then get a big grocery haul?
It depends. So we are a family of 7.
Yeah.
We go through a lot of groceries. So to get more than a week's worth of groceries, we're kind of out of room with where to put groceries.
Yeah,
now,
true.
we'll buy some stuff that you can put in the deep freezer because we have a deep freezer downstairs. But we don't really go too far beyond that because we just don't have room for it.
Who's the big eater in your house? Is it Noah? He's a growing boy, man. He's 12.
He is. Noah eats a lot. Evie eats a lot.
Really? A lot of stuff.
But she's running cross country, so she's like burning through what she's eating. Yeah.
When did that happen?
When cross country season started?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's a cross country runner.
All right, let me give a little bit of respect to Evie.
There you go, Evie.
Right.
Yeah,
I truly didn't know she was running cross country.
They run their first meet.
What grade is she in?
5th.
5th grade is doing cross country?
She runs with middle school.
Goodness me.
Because at their school, 5th is considered part of their
You learn something new every day.
Yeah,
well,
they won their first meet, so
shout out my girl Evie.
Evie's hustling. She's getting it.
Hey, John, did you just say that you wouldn't pay $10 for a delivery fee? Because everything that I know about you screams, I'll pay money if I can get what I want quicker or more conveniently.
Yeah, but I mean, I typically just go in, because when I go to a grocery store, I go in and get the 2 or 3 things I need and get out. So for that, it's not worth it. I don't ever go like massive grocery shopping.
I have never gone to the grocery store for two things.
I go, like, if I go, I'm like, all right, I need I want to have a protein shake tonight. I'll go get a cottage cheese, a banana, and then get out. I would not pay delivery for that.
I've never gotten two things at a grocery store in my life.
I guess that makes sense. When you said that, I just know you being the kind of person that's like, oh, $100.
Now, so
but it'll be here tomorrow.
That would not be
That's true.
That would not be a grocery delivery order because there is a minimum you have to
Right,
order.
right.
So that's not something that's not worth it for grocery delivery.
Right. I just am. I'm not the type of person to go in. I usually leave that to Ellie. Ellie will go in, get all like $300 worth of groceries at once. Yeah, for that, as like a $10 delivery fee, it is what it is. I don't love it, but I mean, at the same time,
yeah.
If it were me doing it, I probably would love it.
I don't think I would like it if it was a hidden charge, but they tell you up front this is the delivery fee.
Yeah, I'd be fine.
Hey, I mean, people got to get paid. So
Yeah, I'd be fine with it.
Write in and let us know if you're a grocery delivery fan, where you get your groceries from. I'm a Walmart guy, but I know that there are other.
That was good advice, man. That was a good advice. No one
Thank
needed.
you. I appreciate that.
Man.
I don't often hit the advice, but I want to introduce to that one, and I want to share it with the world.
That was good advice.
So write in and let us know, or if you jump on the grocery delivery train as a result of this episode, let us know your experience. 252-582-5028, or you can visit us online at clearviewtodayshow.com. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hello, Clearview family. I'm Nicole,
And I'm David.
and we want to talk to you today about the Clearview app.
You know, there are so many churches out there that put their sermons on YouTube and their announcements on Facebook and their prayer list on Periscope.
I didn't even know Periscope was still functional.
Oh, it's not. And that's why nobody can find their church's prayer list and nobody's prayers be getting answered. But here at Clearview, we believe in making our content as accessible as possible.
That's right. Clearview produces so much content every single week, including Dr. Shah's sermons, original music, a full online store, weekly prayer gatherings, and so much more.
Not to mention the #1 best-selling Christian talk show of all time.
I don't know if that's accurate.
Well, maybe not yet, but that's why we want people to download the app.
If you're listening from the Triangle area, we encourage you to check out Clearview Church in person. But if not, you can still follow all of our content on the Clearview app. It's 100% free on the Apple Store and Google Play Store. And best of all of our content is right there in one convenient spot.
Make sure you download the Clearview app today, and let's get back to the show.
Welcome back to Clearview Today with Dr. Abadan Shah, the daily show that engages mind and heart for the gospel of Jesus Christ. You can visit us online at clearviewtodayshow.com, or if you have any questions or suggestions for new topics, send us a text to 252-582-5028.
That's right, and we're here in the Clearview Today studio with Dr. Abadan Shah, who is a PhD in New Testament textual criticism, professor at Carolina University, author, full-time pastor, and the host of today's show. You can find all of his work at his website. That's Abadan
He's
Shah.
shaking his head so much.
I was doing this. Oh, bad about. He's a PhD in New Testament textual criticism.
I did that.
Yeah.
Play it back on the. Did I do that?
New Testament textual.
He wasn't even paying attention. He is all of those things. Dr. Shah, I wanted to ask you, who does the grocery shopping in your house? And I know it's Nicole. Does she?
Grocery delivered. So
So that's what we were talking about. Have you guys jumped on the grocery delivery train?
Yeah. I mean, she did 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, she's the one who told me about it.
Exclusively? Like
Pretty
exclusive?
much.
Wow.
Unless it's like once in a while, we got to run in there and get some Ben and Jerry's.
Right. Yeah. So that leads to another question. Does she run the grocery train by you? Or does she just, at this point, know what you like and just gets it?
But did you say what I like?
Yeah, like when she's like, all right,
That
it's
she
time
definitely doesn't get.
like when it's time to order groceries, is it like, hey, I want you to keep it together, man.
Oh, you like that? Off the list. You like that too? Gone.
Like, the way with Nicole is like whatever dish, Nicholas can attest to that. You really like this. I won't be cooking that for another 6 years.
Or if I do cook it, it'll only be enough for me.
Yeah, it'll only be like so many portions. Like by the time you're done, you're like scraping the side.
Trying to get it.
She likes
Take
to
it
go out
off
on a
the
high note. Like, oh, everybody enjoyed this. Well, I'll never make that
it's
again.
like, I really love lasagna. It's like, I'm going to make some as a snack for me.
Yeah.
And by the time you get home, you
And
can...
I mean, I'm scraping off the stove,
Right.
The oven where it's spilled over. I'm like, it'll be a spoon.
But let her find out there's something you don't like. Like, you don't like meatloaf or you don't
it'll
like...
be there for 3 days.
Yeah, overflowing. So
We're feeding 35
So when it's
people
time
with
to
this.
order groceries, does she check like, hey, do you want any of this stuff? Is there anything you want? None of that. No
The
checking.
only thing I tell her now is like, hey, I'm going to eat salad.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, for all of you listening who struggle with diabetes, make sure you eat salad with every meal. A little bit of vegetable on lunch and dinner will save you from chopping your leg off.
He's right, man. He's right. I
Chop
still haven't
salad
taken
or
that
chop
advice
your leg?
myself,
Your
but
choice.
he is right. So she's
So I do tell
handling-
her, I say, hey, I need, put some salad on there.
Right.
So she'll get, they have these bags of salads
Mm-hmm.
and they already come with prepackaged cheese and salt and pepper. They even have that in there. I mean, go figure. I don't know how people have their homes nowadays that don't even have salt and pepper. There's a little bag of salt and pepper in there.
It's hard times if you don't have salt
Is
and
this
pepper.
is this a fast food packet?
Yeah.
What is going on?
And they even have dressing and everything all laid out for you, and different kinds of salads. Like
Yeah.
you can have this Southwest salad or this Caesar Ranch and something else. And so I open it up and take half of it and use half the stuff and eat. It's very good. I don't know how it's preserved though.
So does
'Cause, I
she
mean-
so is it pre-made
I don't wanna
salads?
know.
She's having pre-made salads delivered to the house, or is it like
Yeah.
ingredients?
No. This is they come packaged.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a salad packet. I've used them. The
Yeah.
little pre-made
I just don't
packet.
understand how-
Everything's in there.
I can get the same kind of lettuce and tomato and other things, and they go bad in like 2 days.
Right. How
And
is this sitting on a shelf?
This sit on the shelf for like a month, and it's still fresh. I
don't know.
I have no idea what they spray on it.
Bro,
don't
that does
know.
kind of
Maybe
say
I don't
something
wanna
about
know.
like
I
where
don't
we
know.
are in America. Like you go down the cookies and cakes and chips aisle, there's nothing there, but all the salad's just there for months on end.
You don't want to
Nobody's
turn it
eating
over
them.
and read the ingredients. You're like, la, la, la. Everything's fine.
Well, speaking of speaking of dying and chopping our legs off, Dr. Shah, today's verse of the day is coming to us from Ecclesiastes 9:10. It says,
well.
"Whatever your hands finds to do, do it with all your might. For in the realm of the dead, where you are going, there is neither golly." There is neither working, nor planning, nor knowledge, nor wisdom. It just kind of goes to show, and I think this is something that you've said, and it really has started to affect the way that I view life as a Christian. You only get one life.
That's right.
You know, you have to make the most of it while you're here on earth, because once you're gone, that's it. You
Right.
don't get to come back and do this again.
Right.
The ability to make an impact in this world for the gospel
Mm-hmm.
is such a privilege. We should rejoice in that. We should make every moment count. Of course, rest and relax and spend time with family. Take the time to unwind. You know, like if you keep that bow stretched all the time, after a while it'll break. So take time to relax it. I mean, all those things are very valid, and we need to remember that. But sometimes I think that's all people do, and they forget that we are to make an impact.
That's true.
Not everybody's an academic who's listening to me. Not everybody may be a pastor or a missionary, but to be honest with you, that's what God has called you to be.
Yeah.
To work in the school system, or to work in the office, or to work with lawn care, or to be a dietitian, or whatever you're doing. God has called you to make an impact and make the biggest impact you can while God has you here.
Amen. Amen. You know, there's a lot of Christians out there trying to do that, trying to make that impact, but unfortunately, it doesn't always go the way we want.
Unfortunately,
And-
sometimes you're shooting for success, but you end up with failure.
yeah, and you know when failure happens, you know what they say, we're going to fail forward. I don't know about that today. I don't know
Sometimes
about
people
that.
fail forward and they fall flat on their face.
Dr. Shah, if you remember, I think it was last week, or it might have been the week before, but a little bit ago, we went over some worship fails. We talked about some of our own worship fails. We saw some worship fails. And Ryan, at the end of the show, put the call out. If
I
you've
did.
experienced any worship fails, let us know. Well, our friend Mark from Western North Carolina has written back to us again. This is the
Mark,
same guy who
thank
got
you,
Mark, we're liking you, buddy.
We're liking
Thank
you.
you,
This
Mark.
is the same Mark who had the chapped hide over the burritos. I don't know if we ever gave Mark a last name. What do you think Mark's last name might be?
Does he have an initial?
He doesn't. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Let's say
well.
W for Western North Carolina. Mark W.
Okay. and
I
W.
mean, Mark West.
Mark West.
you go.
There you go.
Mark
Adam West, long
West.
lost brother. Rest in peace. Mark West wrote into the show and said, "Worship fails? Been playing bass on worship teams for 20 plus years. Plenty of worship fails. My wife sings, and one time she had to cover the last two songs because another vocalist and the guitarist were having a discussion. They were coming up the stairs, heard us, and were like, 'It's no use now.' So they hung out in the green room and prepared to be good-naturedly roasted."
Oh wow.
That's more common
They
than you
knew
think.
they'd messed up. Like, well, the song's already going. We can't
And
walk
it's
on
crazy
stage now.
because Dr. Shah, we've been doing services for at 8:30, 9:45, and 11 for what, 12 years now?
Yep.
But some of the worship team members still, they can't. They're like, well, I think I've got time to go get a cup of coffee.
Yep.
I think I got time maybe to go sit.
I'm gonna walk all the way across to the cafe, which is half a mile away.
Right.
15 seconds left on the counter.
Complete-
Be like, I've got time. For
Complete
this.
other side of campus. And then they get in there. The first song's going, they're like, oh, what happened?
Shocked Pikachu
Yep.
face.
Shocked
Like, what?
Yeah, shocked
Yep.
Pikachu. We thought, Mark, in honor of you writing in, we might watch 2 more worship fails. This is one that I saw today.
Did Mark send this, or this is
Mark
something-
didn't send this, but I thought this was just one that this deserved a little bit of attention. Watch this guy in the green right here. This is insane right here. Watch his leg. Oh,
Oh, wait a minute. What?
the guy on the stool is not impressed at
I
all.
was just saying, look at the guitarist.
smiling. He's
Consummate
smiling.
professional.
Oh, is he?
Have a great day. Have a great day. Have a great day.
I guess this is like playing out of service, like people are leaving.
I've been there when you get a cramp like that, especially
Yeah.
riding on a plane or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, people are walking. It looks like people are leaving.
Yeah, so if you're listening and you can't see the video, number one, watch the
There he
wow.
goes. Whoa.
Watch the video podcast. This guy got a cramp in his leg as the song began, and now everyone else is in hysterics.
And he's sitting down playing
Yeah.
the piano. That's gotta
Yeah.
be tough.
That's a bad feeling. You ever wake up in the middle of the night with one of those?
Terrible. Misery.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. He's done, dude. Just stop playing. He got the accents in there too. What would you do in that situation, Dr. Shah?
I would stop it.
Just stop.
I would stop. I would stop and say, "Hey, hang on, guys. Give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
I really got to work this out.
Brother, lead us in prayer." And I would step out and straighten it out. Drink some pickle juice.
Yep.
You need pickle juice. A couple of mustard packets. Pop them in.
Yep.
They go immediately to
That'll
the
do it.
I'm
Crap
cramp.
out
ready to
so
worship
fast.
the Lord. I got stank breath, but I'm gonna worship the Lord.
That's
today.
right.
Hey.
All right, this is another one that I found.
Uh-oh.
Just another worship fail for us.
Almighty, you go before. Nothing can stand
Oh man,
against the
that's painful.
word of God. You shine in the shadow.
All right, don't do that though.
Almighty fortress, you go before.
There you go. See?
Yeah, there
Okay,
you got back.
You got back on.
Sometimes
That was
that's
not too
got back
bad.
on.
Yeah,
No.
that one too bad.
You got to take a second. Find where you're on the song. Find the click. There you go. Okay.
Yeah, it happens, man.
Yep.
It happens. Sometimes you just get off track. Have you ever got off track in a sermon? Like, have you ever like be like, oh, I didn't mean to end up here, or I didn't mean to get here, and then you have to like find your way back?
You just scream louder.
You really?
You find that person in the pew who's you're really angry with and just let them have it.
I'm telling you right now, brother, we need to come back to an understanding of God.
Glory.
And then you start rifling through. You do that thing where you like calm down. Whew, I feel really good now. And you like try to frantically.
I just had to get that off my chest. Where was I? No, literally,
You're
where
like,
was I?
Wow, that was so. He was talking to me.
He's like, oh, right.
Oh,
Forgiveness.
man.
Grace.
Praise
Yeah,
God.
it's always
Praise
like a
God.
really.
Well, in the early days, yes.
Yeah.
In the early days, there would be a time where you're off track or you get off and you forget or something. You got a lot on your mind. Yeah. Nowadays, it's different. I have more time to prepare the sermon and pray over it and things like that. So it doesn't happen that often.
Right. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
Weak point. Bang the pulpit.
Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom.
My life was changed.
There you go. All right. You want to get into the Clearview Current?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Clearview Current, where we cut through the chaos of today's headlines with a clear Christian perspective.
Supposed to have.
We're here to keep you up to date on what's going on in the world, big or small, whether
I
or
feel
not there
like
is music
that's
under me or not.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, I got to tell you, a lot of times when we do this Clearview Current, it's bad news. I wanted to do something today that was good news and something that was kind of uplifting, current events that would kind of lift us up. And Dr. Shah sent the coolest Instagram that I think I've seen all week.
Yeah.
In fact, why don't we play it, because I thought this was really, really special.
My people in Iran, I know you're struggling. I know you're fighting for freedom. I know it's a tough struggle. I want you guys to know we're praying for you and we love you. Let me tell you one more thing. This might be the most important thing you'll ever hear. There is true freedom, a freedom that no one can take from you in the name of Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Don't ever forget that. If you remember one thing I say, remember that.
Wow.
Wow.
So that guy is he in an Islamic country or is he from an Islamic?
No, he's from an Islamic country, but he is Benil Darush, who's an American professional mixed martial artist.
Yeah.
And he, as of May, this is Wikipedia, so I may be off. As of May 7th, 2024, he is number 7 in UFC lightweight ranking.
Wow. Wow.
And so for him to get up there, originally born in Iran, but now living in America and California, but he is a born-again Christian, loves the Lord, and he's shouting out to people because there are a lot of Christians, a lot of believers in Iran. Unfortunately, they have to maintain their faith, underground in a sense.
Right.
And so he is talking out to them and telling them, hey, hang in there, stay strong. Jesus Christ is the true freedom.
I love that.
Yeah, and he's known for, I think, Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Benil Darush.
Benil Darush.
Shout out to Benil
that is
Darush.
definitely
Love that.
That's awesome.
Darush is a Persian name.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. You have sort of a I don't know if you guys were experiencing your faith on the down low, but you definitely have that experience where you come from a country where Christianity was not only not the norm, it was sort of frowned upon, by the masses.
Right.
You lived in a Christian community, of course, but that was not the norm in India where you grew up.
Well, Christianity was not the norm, you said?
Yeah, well, that's my understanding.
Yeah. Well, growing up, the India I grew up in is not the India today.
Okay. Okay.
The India I grew up in was more open to other faiths other than Hinduism.
Okay.
Islam, of course, Muslims, Christians, those pretty much it. But progressively or regressively, they have gone away from that sense of openness, and it's very tragic to watch. It's become very Hindu nationalistic, and it's the government that is in control. I don't believe that every Indian is like that. I believe that many of them know better, but they're still going along with this because they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So when you were growing up, Christianity was it uncommon but generally accepted?
I mean, uncommon in the sense that, just a few decades ago,
Right.
the British were there, and they came from a Christian background.
Oh, well, that's true. That's true.
But even if you go back to India's history, go back to 2,000 years ago, according to tradition, which I believe is true, the Apostle Thomas came to India. He's the one who brought Christianity to India.
Okay.
And then there were those believers who came from the Syrian church who brought Christianity again to India, to the southern part of India. So the southern part of India had Christianity even before the West did.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Even before Christianity made it into, say, Turkey and Greece and Rome, it already made it to India.
Yeah.
So when the Portuguese, the Dutch, the French, when they came to India and the British came to India, they were surprised to see they're Christians here.
Yeah.
How did they get here?
We thought we were going to tell you about this, but you already know.
They're already here.
Wow.
So there were some some became Christians in the early part of the first century because of Thomas. Then there were those who became Christians kind of a couple of hundred years later because of the Syrian Orthodox, not Orthodox in the Orthodox Church, but kind of Nestorian background Christian, which was sort of kind of a heresy, maybe not. There's a dispute out there. But anyways, those kind of Christians also came to the south of India in a different part of southern India. And then to the west part of India came the Portuguese and the Dutch and the British. And then they brought a version of Christianity. I'll go and warn you, it's not the British government that brought a version of Christianity. It's the missionaries who sort of slipped in.
Right.
The British government tried to stop missionaries from coming to India. They were the biggest hurdles, not the local Indians.
Because they felt like if the
local
Indian population became Christians,
then
they would
everybody's
have,
equal.
Yeah, they have like rights, and we have
brothers and sisters in Christ.
And so they're harder to control.
Right. So let's keep them lost and dead in their trespasses and sins and headed to hell forever.
Yeah.
But at least we can rule them for a while.
Right.
Kind of foolish, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
like, wow. Well, now there's not much to rule.
Yeah. So this hostility towards Christians, at least in India, is a recent thing. It's a progressive. or
not a
regressive
recent thing. It's always was there,
Uh-huh.
but it was in a minority group. Okay, it was among a minority, nationalistic, violent type group that would once in a while pop up and kill a bunch of Muslims, or once in a while burn a Christian church. Now it's part of the law. Can't build any more churches
Because that minority group is now in power.
now in power.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it is very sad, very tragic, because I believe the future of India is not good. It's not good.
It's a good representation of how the controlling minority executes their will over the whole country. I mean, you said that most Indians probably don't feel that way.
No,
but-
they don't. They don't agree with this.
Right. But if this is the party that's in the controlling spot, then this is going to be the law that's passed.
They're afraid.
Yeah.
So they succumb to whatever. It's like, if we say anything, then, they may beat us kind of thing.
Right.
So they go along with it. In fact, I was at an Indian restaurant about 2 years ago, I think. And so restaurant I go to often. And the owner came over and said, hey, there's these couple of guys from the Hindu temple in Cary or somewhere. They wanted to say hello to you, and they know you're a pastor. So I was like, oh boy. So I walked over there, and they gave me a hug and said, hey, look, we we're Indians. We anything we can ever do for you, you let us know. I was like, how interesting. They're okay, but
Right.
the counterparts down in India are not.
Right.
Right. So I'm thinking about like that video you just shared where people from the East will come over here, find that opportunity, and then have that heart to share the gospel with
Yes.
people who are still back in the East,
right.
whether it's in Iran or whether it's in India.
Yep.
And, one of the things that we haven't talked about openly on the show, but the three of us, Dr. Shah and Ryan and myself, have talked about it a lot, was when we went to NRB in 2024. It was surprising the amount of people who came up to our table and saw Dr. Shah's picture and said, who is this? What is his story? And of course, we pitched them the show and we said, if you have a TV show or a network, and they said, I do, but it's in India. I do, but it's in Pakistan. I do, but it's in, Iran or wherever.
Yeah.
And so there was this big drive from February to March, like, we want Clearview Today in these countries. We want to translate them.
Yeah.
We want to translate Dr. Shah's sermons. And of course, that's a thing that is still in the works, but
It is.
It shows a heart, I think, that really what the Clearview Today show and ultimately what you're about and your ministry is about reaching the whole world
Yeah.
for the gospel of Christ.
That's right.
Especially, where you came from in the East.
Absolutely. If we truly believe that there is only one living true God, and if we truly believe that the second person of the Godhead became man and took our sins and the sins of every human being upon himself and died on the cross and rose from the grave on the third day, and if we truly believe that humanity's real problem is sin, which began in the Garden of Eden and has spread through the years, and if you truly believe that it's only through Jesus Christ that we have eternal life, forgiveness of sins, hope forever, then we have to share the gospel.
That's right.
And throughout the ages, people, even before the coming of Jesus, were doing that. One evidence you find is in Jesus' words to the Pharisees. If you remember what he said to the Pharisees, you travel land and sea to make one convert.
Wow.
Now he was chastising them because they were making them converts towards some legalistic junk. But they were traveling land and sea to make converts.
Very
It
true.
means they were sharing what they thought was the gospel.
Right.
So always throughout history, people have gone out there to share the gospel. And then since the coming of Christ, we're to do that. Now
That's
that
right.
he's come, we're telling the world he's come.
Right.
What the whole world was waiting for has come. And so it is imperative that every saved person, every born-again believer, especially in America right now where we are, that we should share the gospel.
That's right. That's right.
Find a way to tell people about Jesus. Drop the name of Jesus.
Yeah.
There's a really fantastic interview. As we close, there's a really fantastic interview that Dr. Shah did with one of the people that we met at NRB. We went back and forth about posting it on this. It was like an hour and a half long interview. It was really fantastic. Only problem is half of it is in a different language. Half of it's in Hindi. So we were like, well, maybe we won't post it, but maybe we'll link to it. But it's a great interview, and a lot of it shares some of our upcoming plans for evangelizing, especially overseas. So
Yeah.
very excited about that.
Yeah, it's encouraging, especially when we talk about people like Benale, who use the platform that God has given them through their hard work, through their ability as an athlete to spread the gospel.
Right.
And that really is the heart behind, your ministry here at Clearview. The work we do, the Clearview Today Show, is to use whatever platform God has given you as a mouthpiece for the gospel.
That's true. We didn't go. We didn't go seek out a radio show. It was something that God kind of brought everybody
Dropped it in our
together,
lap,
dropped it
yeah.
right in our
Heads.
laps. And so we said, listen, if this is God's calling, then just like Benale is doing, just like you're doing, just like so many people and so many Christians overseas are doing, we're using the platforms that God gave us to get His gospel out there.
Amen.
Right. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, write in and let us know. 252-582-5028. Or you can visit us online at clearviewtodayshow.com. Don't forget, you can partner with us financially on that same website. Be a part of what God is doing through the Clearview Today Show and reaching the nations with the gospel of Jesus. Lots of great content coming your way the rest of this week. Make sure you guys tune in. We love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow on Clearview Today.